Jensen here. We are actually going to make some banana donuts. Right before we left on our cruise, I had 3 bananas that were going to go bad while we were gone, so I threw them in the fridge, and so now they're ready to make banana donuts. So my trick for starting with banana bread or banana muffins or anything that uses banana is I always like to pre-mash it in the peel. That way it's easier to mix with your ingredients later. You want to have ripe bananas. Mine are brown, but mine are more brown because I put them in the fridge. If you put bananas in the fridge, they pretty much turn brown right away, even if they're not super sweet and ripe in the middle. So we're gonna squish them up. You wanna help me squish them, bud?
Yeah.
Yeah. Squish it up, squish it up. This way it comes out mushy and easy. There you go. Okay, and then we're gonna open it up. Yep. It's all mushy. And we'll squeeze out the bananas. One more. We got 3 big bananas. So since they were really big bananas, I'm actually doubling my recipe instead of doing a single batch. Normally it calls for 2 bananas, but these were really big. So these 3 will count. Yeah, that banana, you can eat it. They'll count as 4. So got them all in there. Messy, messy, messy. Okay, Teddy Bear, can you mash that up for Mama?
No.
Yeah, you gonna mash it up? Mash, mash, mash. Good job. And then while you're mashing, I'm gonna put a cup of brown sugar in here. For those of you who don't actually know, brown sugar is simply white sugar mixed with molasses. So if nobody has molasses on hand, I would say, oh, if you run out of brown sugar, mix it with molasses. But nowadays, nobody has molasses on hand. But it is just brown sugar molasses. You can make it your own by mixing it together.
I like that.
Yeah, you like it. Okay, you ready to smash some more?
Yeah.
Smash, smash. So I put a cup of brown sugar. Remember, I'm doubling this recipe. So this has a cup of brown sugar.
What's it good?
Yeah, brown sugar is yummy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's mash it up. We're going to turn it and stir it until it turns into a nice paste.
Yeah.
So it's going to be dry at first, but as you mix the sugar in it, the sugar will start dissolving with the banana juices, and it becomes kind of a liquid, just like this.
I knew it.
That's right. We're going to mix, 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 mix. We want to get up any of those big chunks. Smash them. I like to just smash them, get there. Sometimes I use a hand mixer, but right before we went on our cruise, my hand mixer, the men that I used mainly, the blades, they like broke apart and twisted into each other. So I have to buy some new blades for my hand mixer. So we're just having to do it old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to spread or stir this now?
Yeah.
Stir, stir, stir. While you get that, you do that. So that right now is just brown sugar and bananas. So it's 3 really large bananas, or you can do 4 medium size, and a cup of brown sugar. And that's all it's going to give the sweetness to these banana donuts. So I'm going to mash them up real good. And then what I like to do is I'm going to add butter and eggs and some of my dry ingredients. Yes, some of them. So we're gonna add our butter. So while you stir, Teddy, do you want to pour? This is just a half. You stir, or do you want to help pour? Okay, you can help pour. This is just a half of cup of butter, melted. You could substitute out for like olive oil or any type of oil if you want to. I prefer butter in my baked goods. I think it adds a nicer flavor and a denser texture to it than oils. They're all fat, so they all pretty much do the exact same thing. They keep your donuts or cakes delicious and moist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so delicious and moist.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have the butter mixed in. And then I'm going to add in 2 eggs.
Me?
Yep, you want to help me pull it apart? Good job. 1. That's right. You got it on there. You can wipe it on your paper towel right there. Good job. And 2. And now we need to mix these 2 eggs in there. Teddy, can you help me mix those eggs up? Right here, can you help me mix them up? And you're essentially just gonna mix them until they're combined all the way. With a hand mixer, when you're doing it by hand, it's gonna take a little bit longer to mix it than it will if you were to do a hand mixer or like an electric mixer. It would take you like a minute to do all of this. But it comes together pretty nice. It's a fairly easy one to do by hand. Okay, now that we have the eggs mixed in, I'm gonna add salt. You need about a teaspoon of salt. With salt, I kind of just measure in, yeah, you wanna help me? In the, whoa, a bit too much. In the pit of my hand, right there. If you do that, it's about a teaspoon. You put it in there, and we're gonna mix it up. Salt's one of those ingredients that you don't have to be exact on. Now you don't want to put too much in, but it's not like a baking agent like baking soda or baking powder that's going to actually have a chemical reaction that you need to be accurate on. So with my baking powder right here, baking powder, this is it's going to make your donuts puffy. I need 2 teaspoons. So with this you have to be more exact. You ready? Put 1 and 2. Fun fact, if you didn't know this, baking powder is just baking soda and cornstarch mixed together. So the cornstarch actually acts a little bit of as a thickening agent, but you still have the baking soda in it, just in a smaller amount. So these donuts require, for the double batch that I'm doing, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So that's what the egg and the baking powder will react together to make them more puffy. And you want to keep stirring, more puffy. Now, the last ingredient, they're really simple, they don't require much ingredients, is flour. I just need 2 cups of like all-purpose flour. You don't want to use bread flour for this. Bread flour has higher gluten content, which will make your banana bread more like stiff sometimes, I feel like, and not as light and fluffy. It makes it more dense. So 1. And here is the 2nd cup. Again, this is cooking for my own family, so I don't wear gloves. I put my hands in things because it's all what we're used to here. Okay, you stir it up for me?
Yeah.
Keep stirring. Good job. Stir. And now you just gotta stir. You stir that for me all the way up, Teddy. I left my cooking spray over here. And that's what I'm going to need for my little mini donut maker. So I got my cooking spray, so stir it up. We're gonna mix it until all the flour is mixed together. It doesn't matter if it's over mixed or under mixed, they turn out pretty good every single time. So I typically always have a little helper or 2 with me when I'm making these. So, and they love to stir and mix. And yes, you like to help. You like to help me make my banana donuts?
Yeah.
Are they so yummy?
Yeah.
So you're just gonna mix it up, and it's actually kind of like a thick dough, which is nice for putting in my little donut cooker, which I have preheating over here. I've actually had this forever. Before I decided to stay home with my kids, I was a teacher for 12 years. And yes, I used to be a teacher before I decided to stay home. And I use this in my classroom all the time. We made donuts in the class.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we stir and mix and mix. You just mix until, if you look at the very bottom of the bowl, you have no more flour. That's where your flour and some of your ingredients likes to hide. So you just mix until you have all that, making like to scrape and to stir for those who are novice to baking. So now we have our donut mix, and I have my preheated donut maker. So I'm just gonna open it up, and I'm gonna spray it down really quick with some olive oil. And then I'm just going to scoop in a little at a time in each of my little molds. You can do a spoon at home, or like a tablespoon thing to scoop them in there. You don't have to use a baking spoon or in your finger, but to me, cooking means getting messy. And it's delicious to sneak little taste. There we go. So now we have the first batch down, and I will just pop them over, and they're going to cook. And while they cook, You can hear, you know, you can't hear them on there, but they're sizzling in there. So they're cooking up. They actually don't take very long to cook. They steam up pretty fast. And they stay actually fairly moist. So it's a good alternative. Sometimes you get tired. My kids get tired of banana bread or banana muffins. They like to change it up. So I do these banana donuts, which is pretty much a very similar recipe to banana bread and uses the same amount of donuts. And then I make, when they take them out, and here in a little bit, I will cover them with some butter. I have a softened butter in here, and I kind of rub them over it, and then I sprinkle them with cinnamon sugar. So just, that's, we always have cinnamon sugar in our house. I don't know if anyone else grew up eating cinnamon toast, which is delicious and simple and easy, but my whole family loves it, which is just mixing cinnamon and sugar. I'm sure there's a recipe for the exact ratios, but I just eyeball it like most things I'm cooking. Is that good?
Yeah.
Is that good? Are you stealing bites?
Thank you, bye.
Don't worry about it. Yes, there are raw eggs in here, but most people believe in the old wives' tales that raw eggs will make you sick. In America, my brother's in the egg farming business, so in America, eggs are like so screened and tested and pasteurized that it is almost impossible to get sick, like get salmonella or E. coli from an egg. You're more likely to get it from eating spinach or cantaloupe or fruit or anything from your farm through cross-contamination. It is so rare to get sick from eggs, but it just has a bad reputation that's been stuck on them forever. But they really are completely like harmless here. Now it's different if you get them from a farm and they're fresh and they haven't been pasteurized, then yes, you could get sick from there, but eggs that you buy in the store and you've refrigerated properly, they have practically like no salmonella in them. It's very rare. They're still cooking, as you can see. So I'm just halfway through, not quite done yet, but I will try a little overflow. I know, are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
While we wait, I can pick away some of mine, clean up over here. Why, this little taster thief steals little bites. It's so yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves banana. Some people will add chocolate chips to them, or you can sprinkle them with sweetened coconut or unsweetened coconut. You can also throw in, if you want to do a healthier one, you could throw in some chia seeds. But for us, we just kind of like them the basic plain with cinnamon butter and cinnamon sugar. Let's see. I know, we're waiting. It's waiting. There, let's see if they're done yet. Almost. You can see they're getting there. They've puffed up, but they're still a little soft in some spots. So it takes about, I would say, I don't know, 2 minutes maybe for each batch of 5 to cook. But by the time you've prepped and done with an egg, the next batch typically comes out. So it goes pretty fast. Yes. Are you excited? You help me there, but this, I would say this, a double recipe probably makes 20, like 2 dozen mini donuts. And let's see, oh, they feel pretty good. So I like to pop them out with a little fork. Again, I am very my fingers are not heat sensitive. So for most people this might be too hot and you'll be more delicate with a like a fork, but heat does not bother me at all. So I think it's cooking calluses. When you cook so much, you're constantly touching warm things, hot things, that you get used to it and it doesn't bother you. And so I'm pretty good about like whipping them off with just a fork in my finger. But if this is the first time using a donut maker, you guys would probably want to use 2 forks or just be very careful with the fork because it is a hot griddle, so it can get pretty hot. But we'll have our next batch going in there. And while these are cooking, I'm going to take this softened butter and I'm just gonna rub around the tops just a little bit. They don't actually need a lot of butter. This is really just to help the cinnamon sugar stick onto it. So I've just wiped the softened butter on it, and then in here I have my cinnamon sugar, and I just sprinkle over the top like this. And then you need a paper towel, and boom. That is our first 5 cinnamon donuts. Here, you need a towel.
Yeah.
They're still a little hot to eat. These are still hot to eat, so I'm not gonna have you eat one just quite yet, buddy, because I don't want you to get burned. But we can help wipe up those fingers. Is that so good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah.
He's my little chef. He likes to help me, Chef Teddy. Does Chef Teddy like to help me cook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birthday.
You like to taste, that's right.
Yeah,
You like to taste. So not so much of the cooking, more of the tasting. Are you my official taste tester?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's get that there. You've got some there. Okay. Well, thank you for helping me, Chef Teddy.
Yeah.
Okay, big hug. Are you all done? Oh. Big hug. Jump, 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 jump. You want to take a donut?
Yeah.
You want a donut? There you go. Now they've cooled down. You can hold it. Mmm, so good. Yeah, you like it? Okay, I'll put it right here for you. You can come back to it when you're done. Let's check on our next few donuts, see if they're ready yet. Almost. You'll know they're ready when they're firm to touch and all. You see how it's shiny right there? That's undercooked yet. So you need to let it cook a little bit longer, but when it's firm to touch and it has a little bit of golden brown, then they're perfect and ready. I wouldn't overcook them because the longer you cook, the more moisture goes out and they're just not as good. These, I think for most people, our dogs, of course, see the mailman. Bruni, Grace, Loki. Oh, they see another dog. But these will last for a couple of days. You know, either you can put them in an airtight container and store them on the counter, or you can put them in the microwave or in the refrigerator. And then just when you're ready to eat them again, just reheat in the microwave for like 10 seconds. But it doesn't take long. We typically eat them up within a day, so they never last that long in our house. But I think we're almost ready for the next batch. Oh, let's see, they look pretty close. A little soft right here. You see how, I don't know if you can see my finger, it's kind of squishy, and you want it to be more firm. So we're gonna leave them in there for 30 more seconds before we take them out. Do you want the rest of your donut, bud?
Yeah.
The rest of it, there you go. I put it right there. Oh, are you gonna have me feed you? Can I have a bite?
Yeah.
Mmm, yummy, 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 yummy. You can see how moist and delicious they look. So they're perfect. They taste like a warm banana bread. But the cinnamon sugar adds like an extra little spice to it. It makes it, it's really nice. But it's not overpowering. So you still have the good banana flavor to it, but you have the little sweetness from the sugar. But I'm gonna, let's see, I think I'm gonna move to my next thing here. I probably have to clean up a little bit before these are. Let's pop our head in there. Oh, I think they're about ready. These are ready. So you see how they have a good little pushback. They're not soft and gooey. So I will take these out. Again, at home, if you do decide to make these, probably be careful. This is hot, but again, I'm not very sensitive to heat. My family likes to say that I take liquid hot magma showers. So then I'm just gonna scoop up my next bit, and you just kind of put a little on there. I'm sure you could precisely, it's probably around 1/4 of a cup on each one, but I just eyeball it. I've been cooking for so long that unless it's a new recipe, I eyeball it. Unless, of course, also you're using one of those reactive ingredients like baking soda or yeast or baking powder that causes a chemical reaction in food. Because those have to be precise, because if you put too much in them, then they will mess up how like your cake or cookie or whatnot turns out. But when it comes to just spices and salt, you really can't mess up if you're off by a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna close this up, and that will be my next batch of 5, and it looks like I have probably enough for one more batch of 5, so it made about 20 mini donuts this time around. I'm gonna go wash my hands because it's a little bit sticky. There. Wait, oh, and what did I forget on these guys? I forgot to put the butter. So while they're melting, you see I have my softened butter. In our house, we always have at least a stick of butter sitting out on the counter. I have a big butter dish too that we'll put our butter in to keep it there. But nothing is better on warm bread or goods than softened butter. You can put it in the microwave to soften it up, but if it's just out there, it spreads so nicely, it melts nicer. And then we'll just stack it up like this. And then my next group, I'll put it on there, and it will be like a little stack of donuts, and I keep them in my little glass pie dish or cake cover thing, one of those little pastry stands. But we keep it there, and probably by tomorrow they will all be gone, because my kids can eat these like crazy. And granted, I mean, 20 mini donuts with 5 kids and 2 adults doesn't last long in here. Most people are like, bake a recipe and it lasts them forever. When I bake a recipe, if I don't double it, we have enough for like one night or maybe a night and a day. So baked goods don't last long in this house. Oh, you're thirsty? You want a drink?
Yes.
Here you go. Yum, yum, yum. I could use a drink too. Did you finish up your whole donut already? Yeah, was it really good?
It's big bite.
You took big bites of your donut? Yeah, it was really good. Okay. Well, since I only need my butter and my salt there, I can put away my baking powder and my salt. So I'm gonna just walk over here. Last year, we redid our kitchen. We, unfortunately, in our house, it was built in the 70s, late 70s, but we had a pipe behind the wall that cracked and burst, and we just came out, and it was just like our cabinets on our previous house. So the wall was right here before, and then there's a beam above right there. But we had a bed of cabinets and our dishwasher right here, and we came out one day and just water was flowing out from underneath the cabinets, and just flooded our whole kitchen. And I was 7 months pregnant at the time with my 5th, which is not something you want to deal with when you're 7 months pregnant. So we get there, we get the plumber out, because of course it's a Sunday, nothing ever happens on business hours. So it was a Sunday night, we got an emergency plumber out, and he pretty much said, you need to involve your insurance, this is going to be a big deal. So we called, and we got the insurance adjuster out here. They said, okay, rip everything out. So while I'm 7 months pregnant, and I already have 4 kids, they had to rip everything because it flooded also our dining room. They ripped our dining room out, our kitchen out, and our laundry room because it was all the same flooring. Had all of them ripped out, had my whole kitchen ripped out, and wow. That was in August. It was the day before school started in August, and I didn't get my kitchen finished until the middle of December. Was when I was usable finished. There was a couple things that with the contractor afterwards, but we went 4 months without a kitchen in our house. Yeah. And we had no dining room, and we had our laundry room, but we had no floors in our house for a while, like part of it. And that's not fun to do when you are pregnant and you're there. I cooked everything in our office. I literally used an air fryer, an electric griddle, and a toaster oven to feed my family of 4 all of their meals. It was quite an adventure. And then I had a high-risk pregnancy, so I ended up having to be on bed rest for part of it because did you see the cat? Did she get up on the counter where she's not supposed to be? Yeah, you telling her to get down? I think the dogs are chasing her now. But no, they're not. You say we know that? But I had a high-risk pregnancy. I have a weird condition called cholestasis of pregnancy, so ICP. Yeah, no cat up there. She left. She jumped off good. But it essentially causes your liver to stop working. It stops digesting fats. And what it does is once it stops digesting fats, it starts pushing
Look over here, yeah.
and put vinyl salts, and so it makes you extremely itchy, and it makes you jaundiced, and really just really uncomfortable. You don't realize how much your liver matters. So I had that while not having a kitchen or dining room or floors in my laundry room, and then I gave birth halfway through our renovation. Came home with a newborn without a kitchen, out a thing. So it was definitely a trying period for us. It was not the most fun, but the plus sides of it is I got a brand new kitchen, which was way better than our old kitchen. Our old kitchen was a quickly revamped kitchen with a 1978 or 79 layout. It was tiny. And yeah, or wasn't our old kitchen tiny? It was tiny. But now what we did is we stole, there's our dog, see another one. Loki, Broody, Grace. No barks, no barks. But it gave us a bigger open plan. We stole half our dining room. We opened the wall into our living room to give a more functional open kitchen layout, which has been amazing. We upgraded our countertops to quartz, which has been so nice, and it's been like really, really wonderful, and it's made cooking a lot better. But since these are almost done and my dogs are going crazy, I'm gonna have to say bye.